Hello, this is Run the Numbers. My name is Jason, and this is a video part of our warm-up series. It's also a video part of our 100 videos in 100 days challenge. That's a challenge I've made for myself to put out a whole lot of content so that these videos can be helpful to you on your personal finance journey. Hopefully you're discovering new things or bringing things top of mind, and hopefully in some form or fashion it's helping you out. So I want to get these videos out to help a whole lot of people. So today we're on the go, we're in motion, beautiful streets of Los Angeles, California, where we have a good topic today to cover something of an analysis, a first impression of a particular credit card. And I have a different little spin to it of why I'm considering it. It's a credit card I have yet to apply and sign up, start using. But it is a credit card that have put into some strong consideration. So I'll mention to you how I discovered it. I'll mention to you why it's under strong consideration. I'll also mention why I have yet to sign up and go through to start using it, and then kind of what's my future, what might sort of change my mind and get me to take some action. All right, so without further ado, let me mention as to what this credit card is. I've been teasing it out right here. Drum roll, please. The credit card I'm mentioning right here and now is the Bilt credit card, B-I-L-T, from Bilt Rewards. It's marketed as the renter's credit card. That's kind of what they're going for in their own marketing, and what a lot of other analysis from other YouTubers or from just kind of other write-ups. The kind of claim to fame here is that it's the card you need to have if you in fact pay rent. And the reason there is that you can put your entire rent payment every month through using this credit card. And so yeah, you might be screaming right now as to, yeah, okay, you can already do that. There are credit cards that allow you to do that. Just has a small fee. But in this case with Bilt, there is no transaction fee. That transaction fee can be somewhere of a 3%. So a lot of people wouldn't want to use a credit card that would hit you a 3% fee. So Bilt, being the renter's credit card, in fact, doesn't incur that 3% or any amount of a fee to put your entire rent payment, and they have a whole Bilt Alliance, a whole system. I won't get into too many of the details, but basically they have the whole setup to help so that you can put your rent payment through the credit card. Even if they need to help deliver paper checks through the mail to your landlord, there's a whole system that they'll help you go through. So why I might have a little bit of a different take. Remember I mentioned I have kind of a different spin on it. I'm not a renter, and so it really isn't a selling feature to go and be the whole renter's credit card. But there are some additional features, some additional things that have kind of piqued my interest. So I'm going to focus here. If you want to get the whole breakdown of why Bilt and redemption of the points and just kind of a whole other slew, there's a whole bunch of other YouTube videos to go check out. I'll let you go and explore about it, but I want to give a little my take as to kind of where I might go about possibly putting Bilt into my rotation of credit cards. And that is Bilt. Let me give a bit of a context as to Bilt will give you kind of, they have like kind of a 1, 2, 3 in their marketing. The one is that you can get your entire kind of 1x points on your rent payment. You can get 1x the points on anything that doesn't fall out of kind of the following categories that I'll kind of mention in a minute. Um, and then also um, there's other elements of where you get 1x, but I'll just kind of say something of the catch-all. It's kind of your any spending, your everyday card of sorts, to get the 1x. Now the 2x part is that you can get double the points on travel. There's a whole bit, and I won't go too much into it. As you might know from watching other videos, I don't do too much travel, so I don't pick up on too many of the finer details of the areas in this category, what you can be redeeming, all this sort of thing. So I'll kind of leave it there as just 2x's for travel. Now the 3x part is that you can get triple the amount of points if you're spending in the category of dining. So your restaurants or takeout or anything which has kind of the merchant code to it for dining. So that one, of course, is pretty good. It's kind of matches a whole lot of other cards that I've mentioned about in other videos, where a 3% cash back. And by the way, these kind of 1x, 2x, 3x kind of relate to something of like a percent cash back, kind of something of an equivalent. Of course, it always depends on, how you're redeeming and all these different things. But in general, I'm just thinking of it as kind of equivalent to like a 3% cash back that I would maybe get from, let me just throw an example of the Capital One Saver 1 card. You can get a 3x, a 3% cash back when you go out to eat in a restaurant. So kind of the same dining category. So with that being said, with a little bit of context as kind of what some other things that this Bilt card offers, I'm going to highlight one other part to it, is that on the first of the month, there's this thing called Rent Day. So Bilt kind of created this Rent Day element to it, where these 1, 2, 3 parts get doubled. With an exception, of course, they're not going to double the amount you can put for your rent. So aside from the rent part to it, all the other things you would put on the card are going to get doubled on this particular day, the first day of the month. So that's to say, if you time it well, you can get, instead of 1x, you can get 2x on kind of your all things that you can put that don't go into other categories. And one such one that I do a whole lot of charitable donations, and I could just simply time it so that the monthly charitable donations I give are in fact done and processed and kind of qualify on this rent day. So instead of I getting the normal 1x, I can get 2x, which is pretty good. As you might know, getting something of an equivalent of like a 2% cash back is something that I like to get. This is excluding kind of other high categories, groceries and gas and all these other things. But if you just kind of put these things like charitable donations kind of don't fit into a category that would get normally much higher than 1% or 2% cash back. So I'm pretty happy to put like a whole lot of things, a whole lot of my charitable donation giving and getting a full 2% cash back equivalent that I know I could get if I kind of make it done in this way. Another thing I should mention is that that 3x dining points then becomes a full 6x, which is pretty good. 6% cash back, kind of equivalent of how I see it, of dining. So it could really be something that I create in my family spending to do something of a date night perhaps with my wife, or do a whole family dinner, family lunch, whatever it may be on the first of the month, and kind of work in kind of something nice, almost like a cheat day, because we don't do all that much dining out and going to do takeout, to have takeout. So it could just be nice for one day of the month to kind of do this kind of cheat day, this one rent day kind of element, to have a full 6% cashback equivalent. Now, I'm mentioning all these possible ways that I would use it because there is something of a downside of the Bilt card, and that is you need to make 5 transactions per month to be able to kind of get these good benefits, these multipliers to your points that you're putting down. And the whole idea there is they're trying to have you avoid just putting your rent payment only, and they want you to kind of use the card in other additional transactions. So I get it, and I'm totally understanding that that's part of the game here. But it's really not too much of a problem for me, because as I told you, I could put like a good maybe 3-4 transactions alone on just the charitable giving, the charitable donations I've mentioned. I could do the date night. I would feel I would be pretty confident that almost every month, I'd go through and be able to hit that 5 transactions. So for that, it's just kind of something that I'd kind of put into my consideration. Now, let me mention a little as to why it's not yet something that I have gone full steam ahead and I've started to sign up for and use. Is that I feel like there's a couple of things kind of waiting in the mix. They say there's kind of some alluding to it in the marketing material that Bilt puts out, and that is in the FAQ. Will Bilt allow mortgage payments to be made through their credit card payment processing, and thereby getting points for their mortgage payment? They've mentioned that it's something they consider, and they're basically thinking about it. So I'm kind of on the sidelines a little bit until I have kind of a stronger indication that might be something that they're going to do. As well as, I'm not quite sure the timing works quite well for me right now to need, these 2x, these 2%. Maybe I can get that. I've just done a recent video, and I'll put the link in the description, where I took a look at the Bread Cashback American Express credit card. That gets me to that 2% cashback, all things, and that I don't need to like time things out to put it on only the first day of the month. That's just like any day, all day, all things spending. So that one might be in higher consideration, kind of first up in the line of credit cards I'm considering before the Bilt card. So for all these reasons, I'm kind of on the sidelines now. So my next steps of sorts is kind of wait it out, see if there's some things that maybe I could change my mind. If it's something like I learn more about possible all these Bilt points that I'd be racking up could maybe be put towards a down payment. I know that that's part of the Bilt sort of marketing. They've mentioned that is something they do. I'd have to learn a little bit more into the specifics. If there's caps, if there's all these kind of things. That is a selling feature, so if I learn more and that does sell me over, maybe in fact the next steps then might be to sign up because of that reason. But I've got to need at this point to learn a little bit more. So that's where I'll leave you. I'm needing to learn a little bit more, but I'm on the sidelines, but I thought to bring it for you to consider. All right, gotta run.